forward, and we'll go ahead and get this started. Real quick, those of you who don't know me, my name is Megan Blinka. Today, I celebrate my 7-year coaching anniversary. And I was talking to my kids this morning. I'm like, do you guys know what I was doing 7 years ago? Like 7 years ago today, I was sitting there with a 2-year-old and a spit-up boy who literally threw up every single thing that he ate. And I took a 16-day journey of 21-Day Fix, fell in love with the process. And before we boarded a plane to go to Texas to visit my husband's family, I signed up as a coach. I didn't even finish my first program yet. I hadn't finished a whole bag of Shakeology. I didn't have this massive transformation, but I quickly saw how big this company can change your life and how much of an impact surrounding yourself with like-minded people can change everything about yourself going forward. So it's still crazy that it's been 7 years, because I remember signing up. I remember the 1-year anniversary and being like, oh my gosh, like I made it a year. Because for the longest time, that was my goal. People would be like, what are you even doing? And I'm like, I don't really know what I'm doing, but I'm going to give this thing a year and kind of see what pans out a year into this and see where I go with it. And obviously I have been full force forward and have never looked back. So if you're sitting there, you're in month 1 or year 1, or maybe you're year 7 like me, and you're like still not sure what you're doing, just keep going, because it is an incredible journey. And if nothing else, you have the best, most supportive women that you get to surround yourself with every day. And I feel like that beats everything else. But I am one of the girls who you get to hear from in these weekly calls. We kind of rotate through different leaders, so you get to hear from different people. And the whole point of these Wednesday calls is to give you guys the basic foundation for launching your business. And it also is something, as you maybe get your first coach, and your first coach joins you and you're like, I don't really know what I'm supposed to tell them. You bring them in here. You don't have to have all the answers, but we do have all the resources. That's probably one of the greatest things as a team that we can offer other people, is the resources and the places to learn, to stay accountable, and to figure things out. So this is one of those resources for you. I am going to share my screen. I have things I want to go through, but before we get started, I wanted to kind of show you guys. Oh, kids are already in the house. So there might be some additional neighbor. Yep. What's up?
Can we have ice cream with that one?
Ice cream with the neighbor. You guys haven't had lunch yet?
Yeah, I have. Oh, right, I have.
No, so go make some lunch. Close my door, please, and then you can have ice cream.
Okay.
So there you have it. Lisa told you, without doubt, I would be interrupted, and that is just a little bit of like, okay, I don't know why. I'm trying to show my back office, and the screen share didn't work. So let me try again. There we go. So, oh, and now there's people in the waiting room, and I can't see how to let them in. Karen, I am going to make you an admin, if you don't mind, if you're sitting at a computer, to where if you could admit people in the waiting room. Let me see how I make you a co-host. Karen, I just made you a co-host. Steph Miller, I might do you as well. So if you guys can see, the one thing I can't stand with sharing my screen is then I can't see people who are in the waiting room. So if you guys see someone pop up in the waiting room, if you could let them in, that would be helpful. Let me try to share my screen again.
Yeah, you can make me an admin too, Megan.
Thank you. All right, cool. So I wanted to show you guys this little section of Coach Breaking News. So you'll get emails from Beachbody. You'll see things shared in the team page. You'll see different things, but I don't know what this pop-up thing is there. But this is something I wanted to show you guys, because there's actually like a lot of things going on right now. One thing most pertinent to you guys is this Bff promotion that they just came out. So it's so unique, and I want you guys to understand what an opportunity this is for you, because any coach who signed up in 2021 so far, so January, February, or March, you actually get, so you can see here, every new coach that enrolls January 1st through March 31st gets a My BFF promo code. So we've always had, like in Team Cup last month, there were $10 promo codes. Whenever you sign up, you get you get some promo codes as a new coach. Those are $10 off. This one's $40 off. This thing keeps popping up. $40 off, and it's called the My BFF promo code. You only get one, so share it with somebody you love. But it is a great way to get someone started off the bat, to be like, I just signed up as a coach. I'm joining this group. I have this one-time use coupon to save $40. Would you like to do this with me? So it's an awesome conversation starter. I know what a lot of coaches I've seen do is if they haven't signed up their spouse yet, they're signing up their spouse using the coupon on them, and then the spouse gets a coupon code, and you can kind of use that one too. So the codes aren't specific. I gave the example too earlier to one of my friends, like my mother-in-law was one of my first coaches who signed up. My mother-in-law wasn't going to work the business, but she drinks her Shakeology every day and other products that she uses. I could have used her My BFF promo code to sign up another one of my customers. So the My BFF promo code is not limited to only the coach who signs somebody up. But just wanted you guys to understand this because $40 off is a huge discount. You still earn the commission. The commission is like prorated. So I would say on a 160, I haven't seen it go through. I could actually ask Erica, you're on here. Maybe if you use your one BFF coupon, maybe you can tell me what it shows up as. But in the commissions, it's probably going to be roughly like a 160 challenge pack that you would normally earn $50 on. You're probably going to earn like 40, but you're saving that person $40 too. So anyway, just want to make sure that I can hear my children, that you guys were aware of that one. And then the other one that is new for this month is the Success Club Retention Point Promotion. Maybe it's not going to click. But this is another opportunity for, oh my gosh, my kids are so loud. I'm so sorry. That you can earn an additional Success Club point both in March and April based off of customers that you would have signed up in then February and March. So if you're brand new in March, you wouldn't have had any customers in February. So this would be relevant for any customers you sign up in March who then could earn you retention points in April. If you signed up within the last couple months and you have customers already, anyone, like even I'm gonna earn retention points for any of my new customers who signed up in February. I'm able to earn a retention point in March and April. And the whole idea of this is to reward our coaches with the Success Club points for maintaining your customers. The goal isn't just to sell a challenge pack. The goal isn't just to get 2 points on the board. The goal isn't just to like be like, oh, I made this commission, but it's to genuinely get them the results. And we can get them the results by helping them not just start, but finish a program, stay accountable, continue beyond the first 3 weeks or 6 weeks and make it a long-term lifestyle. And that's what this Success Club Retention Point Promotion is all about. So I wanted to share those two things with you guys just to make sure you're aware of those because they're really good for new coaches. And then also that coach breaking news that I showed you guys, that gives you an opportunity to see, like, that's where updates come out. Yes, your team page is going to share things. You might get a little rundown on the weekly team call, but as a regular habit, as a business owner that you are now running this business, I want you guys to get in the habit of checking out that because that's where you'll find information. Like there was one, I don't know if it was still up there today, but I know I saw it the other day where like the Beachbody step was out of stock. So just things that you need to know as part of your business. So wanted to point that out to you guys. Now we'll go into what I really wanted to talk about you guys with month one as a new coach. I'm going to share my screen again with this one. I didn't download the PDF, so it's still in my Canva, so bear with me here. But all right, so your month one goals. These are the goals I'm going to tell you I think you should have. Obviously, it's your business, so you can kind of make those adjustments as you see fit. But at the beginning of the month, the beginning of your coaching business, it's really important that you understand what you're striving for each month, right? Like, what are you working for? What are you trying to achieve? Kind of like if you're driving somewhere new and you don't have the directions, you don't know how to get there, you're probably going to be going in circles. So it's really important that you understand what you're working towards, what you're inviting to, what you are posting about so that you have a clear plan of action. I want everyone to understand what the BAT is. Hopefully this is not a foreign term. No, it's not the thing flying in the air. Your business activity tracker, your Success Club tracker, this is your day-to-day what you should be doing at a bare minimum to grow your business. We're going to talk a little bit about crafting your posts and understanding the importance of inviting and that your invite to somebody is actually one of the greatest things that you can give someone. And I always show people this Post-it's going to lose its stickiness. But I have this Post-it that lives on my desk that says, I'm grateful somebody invited me. And today I got to reach out to my coach who 7 years ago signed me up as a coach on her team and literally changed the course of my life and my family's life. I'm grateful somebody invited me. I'm grateful that somebody didn't stop posting because someone was sick of seeing their fitness posts or someone thought whatever it was about them she kept going. And because she kept going, I'm here. And because I'm here, hundreds of other women have been able to start their business and their fitness journey. So I keep this front and center on my desk as a reminder that I'm grateful someone invited me. But the only way I can share this gift with other people is if I invite them too. So going to make sure you guys are comfortable and confident in your invites so that you know that what you are doing and sharing is actually giving someone an incredible gift. So in the beginning, obviously, you're going to hear 3 talked about a whole lot. So there's a couple reasons why, but our goal is that you're going to be able to enroll your first 3 customers or coaches onto your team. By enrolling 3 people on your team, it does a few things. For one, it hits Success Club. So you're going to hear it a lot. Success Club, SC, Success Club, Success Starter. And all you need to know that is important is that hitting Success Club, enrolling 3 people, it helps you earn back your challenge pack, earns back your initial investment. So if you signed up with that base 160 challenge pack and you signed up 3 people, you're going to earn enough commission to cover that initial investment. So here you are, business in hand, all the opportunity at your fingertips, and you've invested nothing. Compare that to a brick and mortar business where you're taking out loans and hiring lawyers to set up your whole bit. Like, it's so different, but the opportunity is just the same. And the potential for you to grow your business is astronomical. And it starts with $160 investment on your end that you can make back by enrolling your first 3 people. By enrolling your first 3 people under you, it also hits you with that Success Starter benchmark that we as a company use and we as a team use, and that's what we recognize. And that just means that you have enrolled 3 people, and that's kind of like the baseline. Now, maybe you've got wild goals and you're like, I'm not enrolling 3, I'm enrolling 5. I'm not enrolling 5, I'm enrolling 10. You can set that part on your own, but the minimum is 3, and that is what the company will recognize for Success Club, is that benchmark. When you enroll those 3 people in your first month, you hit what's called the Success Starter program. I was a Success Starter, and I can tell you that being a Success Starter was one of the greatest things because it earned me my summit ticket. Now, I know right now there's a lot of unknown, and we should be getting information about summit, whether it is or isn't going to happen within the next week, I've been told. As of now, it's still on for St. Louis in July. But Summit was an eye-opener to me because it took all this stuff that we do behind a screen with little squares of people with, these connections that you're making, virtually, and it brought everything to life. Summit was where I got to hear other people stand up on stage and share their success stories, where I got to see how they were, hot mess mom who has their kid walk in and asks for like ice cream before lunch, just like it happens at my house. But they didn't let any of those little obstacles stop them, and they went on to build incredible businesses. I saw it all unfold, and all I sat at Summit that whole 3 days of the conference was, why not me? If they can do it, why can't I? And it was that mentality that really helped me put my foundation in and soar forward. So I'm a huge advocate for the Success Starter program because it helps you actually earn that ticket for free. Yes, anybody can buy it. It is anywhere from $199, $200, $300. I don't actually know. They change it and run different promotions. I know the value is a $300 ticket. And as a Success Starter, you can earn that spot. You also have the opportunity as a Success Starter to earn a test group participant spot. So the test groups are when, for example, Amalia, that one actually just closed, but Amalia is going to have our next program. We should be getting the information in the April Super Saturday. But the people who earn Success Starters as of, I believe the end of February, it was either January or February, all those Success Starters, they earn spots in his test group. How cool is it as a brand new coach to be able to be working side by side with a trainer as they're going through the program for the first time? Such an incredible opportunity. That's a newer thing that started last year. But Success Starters is hitting Success Club your first 3 months. So by hitting it in your first month, you're kind of kickstarting that Success Starter. You're earning back your initial investment. You're hitting that benchmark of Success Club that gets the recognition from the company. And it really just helps get your business up and off the ground. Now, if 2 of those customers that you enroll are coaches, that is where you get to Emerald. And Emerald is your first rank advancement. Now, I don't know about you guys. I don't know how many of you can kind of drop it in the chat. Did you sign up as a coach because you wanted a discount or to run a business? The day you signed up as a coach, discount or business? I can tell you I was discount. I had no idea what the business entailed and no desire to build a business. I wasn't here because I was like, oh, I'm going to go build this massive business. I honestly signed up because I love Shakeology, and I was like, who wouldn't want a discount? Why would you not sign up and save $15 a month? I mean, years later, here I am drinking all the things Like, I mean, I have Energize in this right now mixed with Hydrate. I have a beach bar every afternoon. I put collagen and digestive health in my shake. Like, I use all the products. So why not get a discount on the things that I'm going to be using anyways? So I don't sign up every single person as a discount, but I sign up most. And that is because I believe they're going to stick with it. I don't want them to be I buy a challenge pack and walk away. I want them to be committed to Shakeology in the long haul. And at a bare minimum, it's going to save them $150 a year on Shakeology. So, okay. So what is it? Actually $180 a year on Shakeology. So by signing them up as a discount from the start, it does a few things. For one, it's going to help you on your business end as you begin to build a team. Like me, some of the people who sign up as a discount begin to work the business. As you can see by those of you who commented, you all signed up as a discount to start. So it also plants that seed of the business. When I signed up as a coach for that discount, my coach then started planting these little seeds about the business. Put me into her team page, put me into her new coach training group. Even though I didn't ask for any of that stuff, the curiosity in my mind started turning. I saw what other people were doing. And again, I was like, well, I mean, I love the programs. I love the products. I'm already signed up. Why not just share it with other people? It was a no-brainer to me to then ease into the business side. So if you're signing up your first 2 friends, your first 2 customers, your neighbor, your sister, your sibling, whatever it is, and they aren't signing up as customers, but coaches rather, those first 2 are what will get you to Emerald. And that is your first rank advancement in the company. So those are kind of like baseline, your month 1 goals to kind of strive for. Now, how are we going to get there? We're going to work through the bat. You're going to work through the bat over and over and over again to where you probably will get to a point where you're going through these actions in your head without even realizing that you're checking boxes off. Does anybody not know what the bat is? Anybody? Brenda, about your question, can we not earn Success Starter now? It's 3 of your first 6 months as a coach. So I'm not sure when you signed up. If you signed up, I guess it would be what, November, December, January, February, March, April. April would be you'd have to hit your 3rd month by April. So you have 3 of your first 6 months. And the whole idea is that you are hitting that success right out of the gate. That's where the Success Starter comes from. So the bat, I know, Lisa, you said you didn't know what the bat was. There is a link in the team page. I guarantee everyone has them. If you go into a team page and just search the word bat, you can probably find it. This is what it looks like. I actually had just printed out a whole bunch of these, and then I bound them in I have it on my desk here. I bound it in a binder because this is really what we go through every day. And I know, like, Kim Fitzpatrick on the National Wake Up Call, she was talking about it. She was like one of the top 10 coaches last year. And she's like, everyone asks, what do I do? What do I do that's so different? What do I do that makes me successful? She's like, I do the bat 10 times over. So she's talking about this section here. And this is where we're connecting and inviting and following up with people. This is one of the sections of the bat. The very first part of the bat is being proof the products work. Being proof the products work, because your story is going to be your greatest asset as a coach. You could share my results. You could be like, oh my gosh, look at her. She did this in this program. And maybe somebody on your news feed might see that and be like, oh my gosh, tell me more. But more than anything, they're going to relate to you and your story and your success because they know you, and that's who they relate to. So by being proof that the products work, that being proof that drinking Energize at 5 a.m. and dancing your heart out before you work out sets you in the best mood of the day, that drinking Shakeology every single day helps you, helps your digestive, helps your cravings throughout the day, helps your energy throughout the day, whatever it is that it does for you. When you can begin to share these things, that's how people begin to get curious about what you're doing. And when they're curious about what you're doing, they want to come join you and do it too. So this should be a no-brainer. You should be checking these boxes off unless it's rest day, and you should be resting and stretching for your workout, but drinking your shake every day and doing your workout. Section 2 is where the work comes in. This is what I like. If you ever hear somebody say, oh my gosh, we're going to have a power hour today at 3 o'clock, or did you do a power hour today? Or when somebody says you can build your business in an hour a day, that hour isn't 30 minutes of a workout and 5 minutes mixing and drinking a shake or doing personal development. Building your business in an hour a day is at least an hour of focused energy on this stuff here. because this is where the work comes in. This is where you're actually intentionally going out, connecting with people, loving on people, building relationships with people, inviting them to be a part of it. So you can see there's check marks throughout here. There's little time slots next to each one. You may need to adjust those depending on how much time you have. This is set out at 1 hour and 40 minutes. I don't usually do 1 hour and 40 minutes. I try to keep it at 1 hour each day. I might spend more time on one thing than another in any one given day. I might do a whole bunch of follow-ups. I actually tend to do follow-ups on Fridays because often follow-up Friday is a payday. So if it falls that it's a payday or people are just happier on Fridays because it's Friday and it's the weekend, I tend to get a better response from people than on like Monday morning when they're like, I don't want to be at work today or whatever it is. So sometimes I'll do like extra follow-ups on Friday versus earlier in the week. But these times just kind of give you an idea of what you should be doing each day. Now, when it comes to this first one here, initiating connections and adding followers. This is not inviting people to come join your team or come join your challenge group. This is simply you being social on social media, being a friend, being a professional friend maker who's looking for other people who have a similar interest as you, who can relate to something that you do, that you love, that you share, that you want to be friends with. I find the easiest way to connect with people is through stories. When somebody's using stories, they're more likely to engage back with you. When you respond to somebody's Instagram story, you end up in their inbox where you respond on a comment and then you're a notification to them. So I like to end up in people's inboxes. I want to be messaging with them. I want to have a conversation with them. So I usually go with stories first. You can either just, when you open your phone on Instagram or Facebook, stories are at the top. My husband is texting me. I actually think he's here. Sorry. So I'll go to stories first. I highly recommend setting a timer because if you don't set a timer, you can easily get trapped, especially with Reels now because it's really easy to get lost in the world of Instagram Reels. So set yourself a timer where you're literally just initiating connections with people. You're finding new followers. One of my favorite ways to find new followers is to go to a brand that I love and see who's engaging on their content. Because if they're engaging on their content, they're more likely to engage back with you. Does that make sense? Like somebody who just has an Instagram account and isn't really using it other than to scroll, they may not be one who creates a conversation with you. I'll be honest, I was never social on social media before I started coaching. I was a person who silently scrolled. I never liked, I never commented, I never engaged with anybody else. So if you engage with me, I probably wasn't gonna engage back with you. I want the people who are already using it and engaging it. So for example, just look here, find a brand. One that I often use is like Saturday Morning Pancakes because I think their t-shirts are funny. So like Saturday Morning Pancakes, they do graphic t-shirts that have like, they'll take like rap songs, like 90s rap songs, and they turn them into graphic t-shirts, and they're just funny to me. So like this is funny. And it says, but I would wash 500 piles and I would wash 500 more just to be the mom who washed 1,000 piles to find more on the floor. Like, so funny, because like I can hear that song. I won't sing for you guys because it's just too early in the day to ruin your day with that. But that song's funny. I know what song they're talking about, and it's mom life, right? Like it's totally like mom related. So I'm like, okay, well, who commented on this? Who's commenting and tagging a friend and laughing? These are the people who I want to go to be like, oh my gosh, these are the people who I would want to engage with. So that to me is the easiest and most fun way to find new people to connect with. You might out of the gate have some people who maybe it's like friends or neighbors or family members who might want to join you. But if you're not building your connections, your circle off the gate, you'll end up to where you run out of people. So you don't want to get to the point where you're like, I don't have anybody else to invite. Like you never want to hit that point. How do you hit that point? You're constantly adding new people, following new people. So like I'll look and see who's commenting. Okay, well, like this girl, she commented, she tagged someone. I'm gonna look at her page. She has like cute clothes. She does a variety of things. She's a mom. Like she might be somebody who I want to follow. So I'm gonna look at her Instagram stories. She was at Target today. I was at Target today too. So it gives you a way to just connect with people. I like her, I'll follow her. I'll see if she follows me back. If she follows me back, maybe I'll send her a message. But that is that connections and followers. Now, there was a time when I used to be like, how many people can I follow in 5 minutes? And I would just follow, and just hope that they followed me back. but there's importance of quality over quantity. You don't just need a whole bunch of people. You want people who are like you, who are going to engage with you, who have something in common with you. Because if they don't have anything in common with you, or you can't carry on a conversation, or you don't genuinely want to spend time with them, they're the people who you want to be coaching in your boot camp or mentoring on your team. Like, you want to be able to like the person and have that conversation with them. So this doesn't have to be in the masses. It should be intentional. Making the connections, send messages where you can, where you have something in common, and adding followers. Posting on social media, that is your next one here. This should be something you're doing every day, but you don't have to do it multiple times a day. There was a time where we posted like 5 and 6 times a day. I literally had it down to a pad. It was like 6, 9, 12, 3, 6, 9. Like, there were days, like the way we use Instagram stories, I was making those as posts. It'd be like an inspirational quote, and then a workout post, and then maybe like a workout video, and then here's what I had for lunch, God bless you, Steph, and then here's like what I'm doing with my kids in the afternoon, and then like here's my business quote at the end of the day. Like, it was nonstop, and it's great. Like, we don't have to do that anymore. And I actually was reading an article about how Instagram has shifted from like the perfectly curated feeds and like all these filtered pictures to just, they just want to see life. Like, people just want to see you as you are in everyday life. It doesn't have to be perfectly filtered. Like, that's why reels, like, I don't have to worry about what cover photo of my reel shows up on my feed. It's a reel. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to have a pattern anymore. It doesn't have to be perfect. It has to be you, relatable. I was listening to a book that's called Destin for Greatness. Great book. But she was getting interviewed, and somebody was coming over to videography her house for her for something, like for a movie that they, or for a, I don't know, promotion of some sort that they were doing. And they said to her, don't pick up your house. Like, we want your house to look real life. So if there's like, leave the dishes in the sink, don't vacuum, leave the toys out. And she said about an hour before they got there, she panicked. And she like put her infant in the walker and her kids in front of the TV and like cleaned the whole house top to bottom. And the people got there to do their, you know, to video their stuff. And they were like, what, is this really how you live? Like, you have 3 kids. Like, when my kids were little, like, the floors were sticky and the dishes were dirty. And the girl actually made her take the dishes out of the dishwasher and put them in the sink, and told the kids to get their toys out and spread them all over the house, because people relate to that. People relate to the messy life way more than the perfectly pictured, curated things. So that actually, I think, makes it easier on us, that we can kind of take that pressure off and just share real life, how it is right now in the season that you're at. Your posts don't have to be perfect, but you do need to show up consistently. You should be showing up at least once a day. I often post the same thing on Facebook and Instagram. Sometimes I'll switch it up, just depends. Instagram, I find, for me, is more finicky on timing. Like, if I post too late at night, like, it gets nothing. If I post too early in the morning, it gets nothing. So I either post around like 8 or 9 in the morning, or 8 or 9 at night. That tends to be like my general theme. Now today, I had an alarm set to make my post. So my kids are home and the alarm went off. I hit snooze on it like I do sometimes in the morning, and then never posted it. So it didn't fall into my normal, so we'll see how it goes. But for the most part, I either do it in the morning or in the evening. I don't usually make posts during the day, because for me, that doesn't work. I pay attention to what works and what doesn't, and adjust as I need to. On Facebook, I feel like it's a little bit more, it's less finicky on the timing itself. So you might pay attention to that, figure out how it's working for you. You want to make sure you're posting a variety of, not just, I work out and I drink a shake every day and I eat super healthy and I run these groups and I want you to join me. Like, it can't just be all about come join me. This is like, because then they're going to be like, all you do is work out. Like, I have a life besides 30 minutes of a workout a day, and they're not going to know how they can relate to you. So sharing different things about your life. Like, I shared, like, Monday I shared about, it was International Women's Day, so I shared a picture of me and my daughter. Tuesday I had shared a picture of, I didn't do a transformation Tuesday because I did one over the weekend. And then I shared a picture of me and my son about something else. Like, I try to share things that allow people to see me as a person, me as a mom, me as a wife, you know, this is date night, this is that. And I share my workouts, and I share today's my coaching anniversary, and I share that there's going to be a sneak peek to learn more about. Like, I share all the things. So before you get, it's like, sometimes I think we can get stuck in that trap of, it has to be, this is my workout, I worked out today. You can share that every single day on your stories. Every day on my stories, you'll see I'm drinking my Energize, I'm doing my workout, I do a morning meditation, I share clips for my personal development of the day, I share my food. Like, I share all of that in my stories because that's easy. And then my posts are more of a variety. So don't get hung up in thinking that it has to be, you have to be this like fitness fanatic. You were a person before you were a coach. Keep that person intact and in mind. You're adding in coach to layer in to what you're sharing on social media along with your call to actions. Now, when it comes to stories, like you can see here, daily life, workout clips. And people always are like, what kind of camera do you use for your workout clips? Or literally, guys, my Instagram, I turn the camera around, I use the hands-free option, and I press and hold it. It gives you 3 seconds. And then I video my workouts. I don't post them while I'm working out because that is my time. Like, I want that time to work out every day. So I video a couple clips. Sometimes I'll do them. I'll even do it at the end of the workout. I'll just go back and redo 3 moves. And I save the video down. And then when I come upstairs and I'm drinking my recover, then I'll pop them on my stories. But the workout clips are literally just Instagram stories. I just save the video down and then I add them in later and maybe add some, whatever, Instagram stickers and things like that to make them pop a little bit more. But that's all I use for my workout clips. I drink my Energize every morning. I still, after drinking it and sharing it every day, I mix it up. People still ask me what I'm drinking. So it just shows you that you don't want to just be like, I love Energize. This is like my daily morning go-go juice, like my pre-workout jam juice, like whatever it is. That's going to be like, oh my gosh, like I need a pre-workout jam juice. Like, what is that? And then it allows you to have that conversation with people to see like, oh my gosh, what is she drinking? What is she doing? And then you can have that conversation that way. Healthy meal prep. Like last night I was making a new recipe. So like I went like live in my story, shared, it was like a minute. It was like 4 15-second clips. Just me talking, sharing what I'm doing. So it doesn't have to be anything more. It's just documenting those little things. Some days it's a lot less. Some days it's a lot more. So it just depends, but these are kind of just gives you the ideas. And then I like to have a call to action every day, because if you can have a call to action every day, then you have an opportunity to invite from that call to action in your stories every day. Sometimes I use the slide bar in my stories. Sometimes I'll just pop a pull up. But I have a call to action in some form or fashion every day. Yesterday, it was actually about Shakeology, which I don't do very often, but I did one about Shakeology yesterday. And then my favorite thing to share in my stories is shouting out other people. I love when I get a message from somebody, whether it's in my challenge group or a private message, that just sharing their wins. That gives other people that positive reinforcement that these challenge groups that I'm inviting to, this coaching opportunity that I'm inviting to, this stuff I'm talking about, I'm not just saying it, people are doing it and having success with it. Now, when you're first starting out, you may not have a pile of customers who are knocking down your door, sharing all their wins, but you're part of a group, you're part of a boot camp, and you're part of a team with other women who are sharing their wins. Lean into that. And when somebody shares an awesome transformation and you say, hey, do you care if I share that? I promise you, if they're sharing, I mean, some people will share privately in the group and don't want it publicly. But for the most part, people are like, absolutely. Like, I worked hard for those results. Shout it out, share away. Sometimes if somebody's a little bit less confident in like sharing it publicly, I always black out their name. Sometimes I'll blank out their name, like I'll just white over it with the text, but then I'll tag them so they still see it. And then they have the decision if they want to share that to their own stories or not, or they can keep it private. But I love doing the recognition and shout out in stories. I think that is like probably my most favorite part to share each day. And it's this on repeat. So while your feed is going to be a variety of things about you and what makes you you, what you're sharing in your stories is really going to be just suntelling. It's going to be a variety of these things. And then this part here, responding to likes, comments, and views. I'll give you guys some examples of texts and messages that you can share and say to people, but this just goes on the aspect of social media is there to be social. So it's not just posting and let people come knock your door down. When someone likes it, send them a message like, thanks for the love of my posts. Like, your support means the world to me. Or maybe they're always liking your stuff. Like, I always see you showing up each day in my notifications. It means so much that you're supporting me. Are you interested in learning more? Having that conversation behind the scenes can be a simple thank you, or it can grow into something that's like, I actually am curious about what you're doing. A lot of people they aren't ready to publicly comment on something and like publicly put themselves out there, but a little like could be that opening door for you to have that private conversation. The last one, or the next one here, is the invite. So this is where you're literally inviting the people to come be a part of it. And like I said, I have some examples I'll give you guys. I'll skip through here and show you guys as we get through here. And then the follow-ups, knowing that, I have follow-ups. I mean, these are just like from this week. I have a list on my little time tracker here of the people who I need to follow up with. So when I'm talking to someone and they ask for more information, I write their name down. Because if I depend on my mind remembering who it was 3 days later who asked for something and I send it to them, I never heard back, I'll forget. So as soon as somebody asks for more information and they express that curiosity, I'm always writing their name down so I know who to go back to. And then that follow-up list just grows and grows as the weeks go on. The other 2 sections of the bat, getting people results. And this comes from you being the best challenger in your challenge groups, leading from the front, which Dorinda's on here. She is like the rock star challenger. She loves on everybody in the group, and I appreciate it so much because those people aren't just getting comments from me. They're getting them from me and her. And that extra support, it motivates everybody to keep going, to work harder. My people they're not her people, but she loves on them as if they are her own. And I think that it is such a positive tool and something that everybody should do. I can tell you when I was in challenge groups with my coach, I used to comment on every single person's post. Everybody didn't, but my coach did. So I followed in her footsteps and I did the same thing too. And it was a lot of work. They weren't my people. I wasn't necessarily getting anything, right? Like I wasn't earning anything from them, but I set that habit and I commented on every single person, even though I might have had one person in that 40-person challenge group. But then once I grew my own and I went off for myself, that habit was established. And 7 years in, every single day, I still leave a comment on every post that is ever put in any one of my challenge groups. And that is how people, they need that. Like I had a girl tell me, she's like, she's a coach now, but when she was in one of my groups, she's like, I used to sit there and wait until you commented. She's like, I would check in for the day and then I would just sit there and be like, day's not over till Megan gives me like the love back. Like she needed that like pat on her back to be like, good job, keep on going. And you get to be that person to somebody else, even though you may not realize it right now. Recognizing achievement, kind of talk about that a little bit with stories, and then responding to questions, right? Like you don't have to be attached to your inbox. Make a time when you're going to do it. I can tell you there were moments when in the middle of the night, my phone would ding and it'd be like 12:30 and I'd hear it and I'm like, oh my gosh, somebody asked me for information. I better get back to them right now. And it drained the heck out of me. So now I don't have notifications on my phone. If you send me a message on Instagram or Facebook, nothing pops up on my phone. Nothing pops up on my watch unless it's a text message. And then when I have time, I go in to my inbox and respond to those messages. And I can tell you now, establish those boundaries. That way you don't ever have to worry about getting stuck where you're connected to the notifications. This business is amazing. Can create immense freedom. Don't be tied to your phone if you don't have to be. Set those boundaries and notifications up now. Set the time when you're going to intentionally go in. And if it's somebody who has your phone number, like I'll tell people if I'm talking to someone, especially if I'm giving them like enrollment instructions, hey, like, this is what you need to do. I'm not going to be around on my computer later, but if you need help going through, here's my phone number. Shoot me a text. Chances are they're going to figure it out on their own, just so you know. But I give them that phone number so they have a way to get a hold of me. And then while this is number 4, it's no less important than any others, personal development. Your personal development is something that if you're anything like me, I rolled my eyes at it in the beginning. I was like, that's for people who are a little crazy, who need a little extra help. So not me. And I didn't think I needed it. And it took me a couple months before I got on board. And now it is part of not only my day, but it's something I'm able to teach my children, and the importance of like feeding your mind with positivity, and not just business positivity, life. It can be, like there's so many, like right now I'm in the middle of 3 different books that all serve a different purpose in business and life, and it all comes together to who I am as a mom and a wife and a coach and everything else. So if you haven't, there's a couple to start out with. Slight Edge is really good. Compound Effect is really good. Slight Edge is Jeff Olson. And then Compound Effect is Darren Hardy. Those are usually the 2 I recommend to start with. After those first 2, honestly, I think it depends on where you are in your own personal life, in your business, as to what to do next. Talk to your coach if you've read those 2. Eat That Frog, Brian Tracy, is another really good one in the beginning to start with. But there's so many books. I'm not even a big reader. I do most of mine at Audible, and I have like 50 books over here that I have read just because I've learned to fuel my mind with that positivity, because it truly does ripple into every other area of your life. So I want to check chat real quick. So do you request to follow those people? Yes. So Branda, I do request to follow, like the people who I'm connecting with, I do request to follow them. And if you did sign up in January, you should have that, my BFF promo, and you would still be eligible to hit the Success Starter program. So you would just have to hit 3 months in Success Club by June. June would be your sixth month. Erica, is it okay to post the I am meditation things? Yes. When I was doing Bar Blend, I posted my meditation card every day. Sometimes it was just the card. Sometimes it was like me holding the card, like you might see my face, but yes, I would post it and it's that consistency. Like people begin to think, or they begin to see what you're doing and what you're sharing. And it's like, what is that? Like that's a little bit different than just a regular workout. Like that's part of your routine for the program you're doing. And it allows you to possibly create that conversation. Oh, Steph, I just saw you responded to her. But yeah, I do think that posting those cards is a good idea. So keep in mind as you're crafting your posts that you don't have to focus just on the likes and followers. If you're looking at your upline coach who's maybe been in the business a whole lot longer than you and they have way more engagement and way more traction and you're starting a boot camp and you're doing it together and she has 10 people in there and you haven't even got anyone yet, it can be defeating. Don't compare your chapter 1 to someone else's 20, 50, 100, whatever it is. Focus on what you're doing. And when you know in your heart that what you're sharing is so genuine, that you have a gift that you're about to give to somebody else, and you write your post from that frame of mind, it doesn't matter how many people like it, how many people are following you. If you can do that consistently day in and day out, it'll grow. I didn't have Instagram when I started 7 years ago. Didn't have an account, didn't use it, didn't use my Facebook, I never added friends. Like I didn't do any of that. And then I became a coach and I was like, well, this is what they're saying to do. And I changed and I started doing it. And I had posts in the beginning that like, it was like my grandma, my mom, and my dad who liked it. Like, nobody liked them. Nobody commented on it. I'd be like, comment below if you want this. And I'd have 0. So then I started being like, comment below or message me. And then I would just act like, oh, clearly everybody's messaging me, not actually commenting below. And that's what's happening here. But people didn't comment on my stuff either. But I knew that my life changed. And all I had to do was keep showing up. And eventually people would, it's like you get the momentum going. And eventually people were going to jump on board and understand that what I was talking about was real and possible for them too. I just had to continue to breathe that belief into them. Look at your social media as your platform for sharing your own story. You get to kind of put that mark in the sand, right? Like you draw that line, you're like, this is my business and this is what I'm sharing. And you get to do that day in and day out. And you might think, I feel like I'm saying the same thing over and over again. You have to. And there's a couple reasons. For one, a teeny tiny little fraction of your social media actually sees your post. Tiny fraction. Most don't see it. So you could post it today and post it tomorrow and a whole different group of people could see it. So you do have to keep repeating it over and over again. And the other part of that is people have to see it, what is it, like 7 or 8 times on average before they're actually going to, so you have to see something 7 or 8 times that interests you before you actually are going to take action on it. So realize that you posting these workouts, like you might be like, I can't possibly post another workout picture. Nobody's liking it. But that next one you post could be the one that somebody sees at the exact moment that they need it. They're like, okay, she's speaking to me. I'm in. And it takes everybody a different time and you don't know what their time is. All you can do is show up. You can't determine when somebody comments back. You can't determine when they accept your message or totally ignore you, but you can put yourself out there. So go at it with that mindset each day. And that's where the personal development really comes in, because it does help you understand like the compound effect, helps you understand why posting consistently matters, why following up with everyone matters, and how the business really compounds over time. Your job is to show up and share your story, and it's going to change. And little pieces will begin to unravel, and maybe something you shared this time, you didn't share last time, but it all will come together the more you do it. And if you think, but I'm not a writer, me either. Guys, I'm the most analytical math brain. I have my CPA license, and as much as I loved math and science, I could have probably flunked out of the general English classes that I had to take in college because I was horrible. In college, I still sent my papers to my mom to to proofread for me because I'm horrible at it. I didn't know how to do it. And my mom was probably the first person who was like, you're writing. And I'm like, well, I had to figure it out. Like I didn't know how to write a story. I was, again, factual. This is what I did. And this is how it worked. You should do it too. But that didn't work. Because on social media, people want to connect with you. They want to hear a story. So I had to write some really bad ones before I got good at figuring out what worked for me and better with my words. A lot of that came from personal development. So don't think, well, I can't write like her. Well, you know what? Nobody can write like Katie or stuff. Let's just be real. She's a phenomenal writer. I'm not ever going to write like her. I can write like me. So I write my way with my words and my story. You could only get there by practicing it. So don't let that be a roadblock for you. Just start. And if it's awful and nobody likes it, be like, well, that one needs some tweaking, and tweak it the next time. I talk about that. Your social media, 1 post a day is really all you need. Make it intentional, purposeful, plan it out. If it rocks, great, do more of those types of posts. If it flops, note it, do something different next time. Think about what you're doing, adding value. You want to be giving people like a reason to come back. Like, are you making them smile? Are you making them laugh? Are you making them think? Are you giving them hope? Like, you don't want to just be like, did my workout? Yeah, like day 7 done. Why? Did you snooze? Did you hit snooze? Like, me and my husband, I come across posts all the time. We used to be like notorious for, it'd be like the alarm would go off and I'd be like, let's snooze. Okay, let's snooze. This is dumb. This is dumb. We should get up. We probably should get up, and be that conversation. And I would share that. Like, that would be my post. I'd be like, this is what went through our mind today, and here we are. For the other person who opens their phone and is like, shoot, here I am laying in bed, snoozing away, and she got up. Now, if she got up, I can get up. So think about that as you're posting. What is your intent? What are you trying to do to people? Sometimes it's to give them hope and inspiration and give them that motivation. Other times it's, this is what I'm doing, and then there's that call to action attached. Not always, but sometimes. Your bio matters on Instagram. Do not put you are a Team Beachbody coach, and do not put in the link your Team Beachbody link. You don't want people to just go shop with you. You want them to know you as a person and connect with you. And if they're going to shop with you and buy something from you, it's because you're having a conversation with them. So you can look at some other people that actually have just updated mine. So mine looks a little bit different. This is an old one. So you can see mine. You can see what mine have. You can see that it's changed. I have it. I was a CPA turned business owner. I changed this because I actually don't use this thing anymore. But I have my email so people can get in contact with me that way. And then Smart Bio is just a place where you can add different links. Linktree is another one that people use, where you can add multiple links. All you need, if you're like, well, I don't have any links, what links am I giving people? If you look at whoever your upline is, they probably have one of these. The 2 that you need, or even the 1 that you need, a Google form that tells people how they can join your challenge group. That's it. Put a Google form link in there that has about joining a challenge group, and you can look in my bio on Instagram and see what questions I ask on my Google form. Just copy it. Make a new one. It's yours. That is all you need to start with. And as you grow, you might have one about coaching, learn more here. But you want a way that people can get in contact with you, because then again, instead of, some people won't comment, right? But if you say there's a link in my bio, if you want to learn more about my boot camp, fill out that form. And that adds another way for you to just figure out who's interested in joining you. Couple little things, like I said, 1 time a day. If it's hard to think like what you're going to post each day, like I even have mine, this is my time blocker sheet. This is like the chic one. I know it's hard to see, but there's 7 days. At the top of each page, or at the top of each day, I have like my topic of what I'm going to post about. Like Monday was International Women's Day. Tuesday, I was talking about how this time a year ago, I was in New York City and the world shut down. Today was my coaching anniversary. Like I jot down, like I didn't have the post written, but I knew each day what I was going to write about, a general idea. So obviously not every week is like coaching anniversary and it gives you like a real clear International Women's Day. So it might be a little bit more confusing, but if you need like kind of a layout, it's important to share your transformation regularly, because you want people at any point they look at you, they open up your feed, there's a journey here, right? Like you can see that there is progress being made in some form or fashion. There's a person who was here and now she's here. So I always have my transformation up repeatedly. Maybe on Wednesdays you're adding value. Maybe you're sharing a reel with a recipe or a tip. Put your workout clothes the night before. Drink a gallon of water. So like whatever it is. Thursdays is coaching payday. So it's a great day to share what coaching has done for you. Friday, maybe you keep it fun. Fun fact Friday, those of you who don't know me, this, and this. Like I know my sister at the end of last year, she did like 9 weeks, and she did like 9 things you didn't know about me. And she just each week would share like a different image each Friday, and it was just like things that were get to know me. Saturdays, weekends, I usually keep things pretty light and easy. Don't use stock photos. Don't use like Beachbody branded things. You're you. You're not Beachbody. You are you, who is an independent Team Beachbody coach. A couple of the apps, I used to have about 74, and these are really the only ones I use now. Snapseed is a one that I can use like a side-by-side with. I use this in Snapseed with like an overlay. Lightroom is where you can apply a preset. We don't need to get into presets right now, but if you're familiar with presets, it allows you to give like a color overlay to your pictures so they look uniform. Unfold is good for Instagram stories. I use it sometimes. I don't even use it as much as I used to anymore. Word swag is where you can like write out text, and then pick, play, post. Pick, play, post is where I put the side by side. Snapseed is to lighten pictures, like your filter. Pick, play, post is where you can put like 2 pictures side by side. There are tons more, no doubt in my mind. I just don't really use them. And then we're coming up on 1 o'clock. I talked a lot today. But I want to talk about inviting, because this is like the bulk of your business. Like if you're not inviting, you're not growing. You have to realize that you have a gift. Over and over, you have a gift. I've said that so many times in this call, but you have a gift in your hand that cannot get into the hands of somebody else unless you open your mouth and you share it. So keep that in mind. Your goal is to at least invite 3 people a day. 3 people a day over 30 days in a month. It's about 90 people. About 1 in 10 people are going to tell you they want more information. So if you invite 90 people in a month, you should have 9 of them who are like, maybe more. And then from that, ideally, you would get 3 who are like, okay, I'm in. Let's do this. But your business won't grow with this. Be excited. Maybe for you, it's sending a voice message. Maybe you feel like, oh, I don't know how to type it out. Send them a voice message. It's okay if you mess up. It's okay if you don't say something perfectly. I've messed up like 20 times on this call with stumbling over words or saying the wrong word. It doesn't matter. Just talk, share. They can sense your excitement through a voice message. You can also record a little video like, hey, I saw you responding to my poll on Instagram about my next boot camp. Super excited to kick things off with this. Tell me more. What interests you most? Have you ever done a Beachbody home workout or home fitness program? I usually say Beachbody. Like, have you ever done a home fitness program? What are your overall goals? Send them a video, send them a voice, or obviously you can still type it out. I'm going to share some examples here, but more than anything, just don't overthink it. If you sit there like, I don't know what to say, I don't want to mess it up. What if I mess up? You might mess it up. I have messed up some really bad ones. One of my coaches, Brittany, she came to me about 5 years after I had invited her. I invited her when I first started coaching. If you look at the novel I wrote her on Facebook, it's like this long. I wrote her like this massive novel and was like, do you want more information? Never responded. And like 4 or 5 years later, she messages me. She's like, hey, I've been watching you. I'm curious. She never responded to the novel I wrote her. I use her example all the time because it's a prime example. A, like word vomit on them. And it's like, I don't even know what you're saying. And then they just stop. But B, the consistency. Because I kept showing up, even though that girl ignored me. I didn't let it stop me. And then years later, she came back and she told me, I've been watching you all these years. I'm ready to learn more. So don't overthink it. And if you need help, ask. I've probably responded to any objection that you're going to receive in your inbox. So ask it. And if you get an objection, post in the team page, ask your upline. We can work through it. You don't have to do it alone. That's one of the greatest things about being on the team. You're not alone. So ask for help when you need it. Here's a couple examples. I will download these into like the slides so that you guys can see these, but real simple. Hey, Melissa, I joined a virtual accountability group. We're doing this brand new 21-day program. I'm blown away. I'm determined to get these 10 pounds that managed to creep in during quarantine craze. I found my coach on Instagram. Her results are amazing. Would you want to do this with me, with us? I'd love to have the accountability. We can keep each other on track. Would you be interested? This is what I'm doing. I don't have all the answers, but like she did it. I'm going to do it. Let's do it together. Another one here, this is on like the coaching end. I have something to tell you. You know how much I love health and fitness. I decided to join as a Beachbody coach. I believe in their products and programs. I want to take this passion and turn it into a business. I'd love to have you as my first customer and testimonial. Would you be interested? I think when you kind of change it to say, I'd like to have you as my first customer and testimonial, it takes a little less pressure off of like, you need to do this challenge and will you help me out and give me your feedback? It doesn't have to be like you're asking them to drink Shakeology for the rest of their life, but drink it for a month. Tell me what you think. How did it help? So those are kind of just 2 different approaches that you can use. Transformation, I told you I share my transformation weekly in some form or fashion because it's the easiest thing to invite from. If you're always sharing your transformation, you always have something to invite off of. Sometimes my transformation is just telling a story. It doesn't have a call to action. Sometimes it's related to challenge groups. Sometimes it's related to coaching. It can be any way around there, but I always share it because it's the easiest way to create a conversation. So, hey, Megan, thanks so much for the love, support you gave my recent transformation photo. It used to be scary putting myself out there with the kind response of amazing people like you, knowing it may be helping one person start their own transformation. It's so worth it. Have you ever been curious about hopping in with us? So you're thanking them maybe they liked it, maybe they commented on it, and then you're asking if they're curious about jumping in. So those are just some simple messages. And then people watching your stories. This is kind of like how people used to scroll, right? Like you used to just sit there and scroll on Facebook. Now people scroll stories. The cool thing is you never knew if somebody scrolled your Facebook page, but now you can see who's scrolling your stories because you can see the people watching them. So this gives you an easy way to just connect with somebody, to thank them for following you, for putting yourself out there. Let them know I'm on a mission to get my first 3 people in my accountability group with me. I'm on a mission to find 3 people to join me in this virtual boot camp because I know that I will do so much better if I have other people I know linking arms with me. You can ask what they're following for. You can ask if they're interested. Like it can either be a straight up connection or it can be a connection with are you interested in learning more about what I do with my boot camps, what I do as a coach. But these messages that you send to people, they're so key in just creating that conversation with people, creating that relationship. And I can tell you, I send these messages over and over and over again and don't get any response. And that's okay. I let them roll. And then there'll be another time where maybe I share something unrelated, right? And like they comment back on it. Because like I'm sending them messages, they may not respond to about the invite, but then they're following. And maybe I post something on my story that they relate to, or where'd you get those shoes, or whatever it is. And I'm like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. I got these shoes at whatever. Did you see my other message that I sent you above? And then you can kind of like call it back. I also have people who watch my stories for years, and I send this message all the time. I've had people that I've sent that message to 10 times, and I still send it. Hey, thanks for continuing to watch my stories. Is there anything I can share that would be more helpful to you? Anything I could do that would be of more value to you? And just make that connection. And just remember, in the same way, I don't know if anyone's waitress here. I was a waitress my way through college, through high school and college. At the end of we'd always be like, would you like coffee or dessert? That was like a standard thing. People most often told me no, right? Like most people didn't get coffee and dessert at the end of the meal, unless it was like my grandma. But I offered it every time. And when they told me no, I didn't cry. I didn't like run to my manager and be like, I asked them if they want coffee and they didn't want coffee. It didn't matter. I offered them coffee because I knew that I was going to get a higher bill and a higher tip and I was going to make more money. They didn't want it. Okay, no big deal. Thank you, next. You're giving people an opportunity to join you. Yep, you will earn an income when these people join with you. It'll make you happy, but it doesn't hurt you when they tell you no. So when you're inviting people, remember that. It doesn't hurt you if they tell you no. I promise you. They can ignore you. I am ignored every single day. I am told no every single day. But rarely do I ever have someone say, stop messaging me. They're watching my stuff. I'm not just cold calling, like finding people in the world to message. I'm going to the people who are watching my stuff, who are engaging on my stuff. So if you're creating content that makes them laugh, makes them smile, gives them hope, gives them inspiration, and then you extend an invite to them, they're either going to tell you yes, they're going to tell you no, or they're going to ignore you. And none of those hurt. They can only help you. So keep that in mind as you're going through and you're inviting and you're talking to people that its business is built on the invite, on putting yourself out there, but that's where you have the amazing opportunity to really grow. So just quick look in the chat. Build trust stuff. Love that. Yeah, that's really what you're doing. Like you're meeting strangers, right? Like, I mean, Erica's on here, Dorinda's on here. They're 2 of my girls. I could bet them on Instagram. I didn't know them. I had to build trust with them before they were ever going to invest money to join one of my groups. So you have to keep that in mind, that you are here to build trust. And you can do that through consistently showing up. Hesitant to post workout videos. I'm worried I'm not doing the moves perfectly. Oh my gosh, I actually posted that the other day. I did the one from 9-Week Control Freak where you're like split squatting and like goblet dropping. It was awful. Like I look back at the video and I was like, I either don't share it because it's so bad or I share it because it's so bad. And then people were like, I didn't know how to do that one either. So like I even wrote the text on there, like, I don't think I'm doing this right, but I'm doing it. And that, like, for one, the only people who are gonna know are the people who are also doing the program, and they're not really your clients, right? Like, you're not looking for the people who are doing it. You're looking for the people who want to do it. So chances are none of those people are gonna know anyways. But even with bar, like when I was never a ballerina. Like I was a gymnast, like there was no grace involved in what I did. So when I was doing bar for the first time, I'd be like, this is not what they look like on TV. Like rest assured what you see here is not what's there, but I'm going to do my best. And I would just kind of like talk about that. But yeah, like Steph said, no one's actually going to know if you're doing it right or not. You'll be one thing, the reason, I've been posting videos like back in the day. I used to make a video in iMovie every day of my workout. Now I just put them on my Instagram stories, but so many people, I've continued sharing my workout clips because so many people have actually told me seeing you made me realize I could do it too. Like, you can talk about what the workouts are, but most people don't really understand what it is, or they think of like Richard Simmons or like Jane Fonda, or it's because I'm old, but like they don't think of the workouts necessarily that we're doing. So by showing the workout clips, it gives you the opportunity to really show people exactly what they're going to get when they join with you. Like, you're going to do this too. You're going to follow. There's a modifier, there's an intensifier, there's the midline. And sometimes I use all three in one workout because whatever, like you can use that to your advantage. But even like today, like I didn't record my clips until I was totally done because I was like, I wanted to do my workout. And then there's that part of me that's like, maybe I'll skip recording clips today. And then I'm like, no, because there's one person who's going to scroll those stories who needs to see those clips today. And even if it's just one, it's worth it for that one person. So I still share clips of my workouts like I've been doing in different forms over the years, but people like to see it. And it's different because not everybody, I'll tell you, not everyone's going to show their workouts, because some people, they are too afraid to, right, Steph? Like, or Erica was saying that, like you get that, like, you're afraid to do it. It's different. It's out of your comfort zone. So a lot of people let that stop them. So if you can push past that and then share them, that makes you different from other people that they're following. So that's helpful too. But we are over our time. Sorry I talked so much today. Hopefully it was helpful. If you guys have any questions, I'm always here to help, whether I am your upline or not. I'm happy to answer any questions. I'll get this recording out to the other girls, and hopefully it'll be uploaded to your team pages here at the end of the day today. So have a wonderful Wednesday. And if you're like me in Pennsylvania where it's beautiful and the sun's shining, go get outside. Bye, guys.